Welcome to the Orientation Part 2, the Digital Theological Library, DTL. Let's log into Populi. When you want to log into your courses, you make sure that you want to locate Populi's specific address for our school, which is nsbt.populiweb.com. You will want to insert that in your web browser, and when you click enter, it will take you to this login screen where you'll need to put username, your username, and password to log in. Once you click in, you will be in the home page for the NSBT courses, and we're going to go into MCM 002 Library Orientation. We want to go to lessons and begin to look at the NSBT library that we utilize, the Digital Theological Library. The new School of Biblical Theology is pleased to announce a new partnership with the Digital Theological Library, DTL, a co-owned digital library of electronic books, journals, and other resources. This new resource will provide NSBT with virtual access to digital copies and upgraded books of many volumes currently located in major seminaries and university libraries in the world. This is an exciting place that we find ourselves at NSBT, and we are now able to utilize all the detailed academic content, which includes over 480 ebooks, over 160 databases, over 21,000 journal titles, over 50 million full-text peer-reviewed articles, over 11,000 hours of counseling e-videos, over 30 subject guides. Examples of it, the expanded content now is available. Links and descriptions to make it easy to access the databases using combined searches of both databases or digital asset only searches. Login information and access instruction for students, faculty, and staff and employees. You as a new NSBT student will have access to this library for all your courses and assignments. In the following video, you will be oriented on how to use and how to access these courses and these resources. Some endorsements that we have at NSBT by our founder and president, A.R. Bernard, states, "We have entered into a new era in theological education, one that amounts to a revolution in how we learn. The online school has come of age, and the Digital Theological Library, DTL, is there to fully support it. Its resources are extensive and accessible. It puts what students need to learn in a global context within their reach, no matter where they are in the world. DTL is the way of the future. I'm glad to have its support for NSBT built in from the inception of the school." Another endorsement is by Dr. Dale T. Irvin, Professor of World Christianity at NSBT. "Over the past several decades of teaching, I have watched students move increasingly from the traditional brick and mortar library that was part of the learning experience for so long to the digital resources of the internet. It is not that they stopped appreciating books and journals. The issue has been access, both to the traditional published theological resources, well as to new depositories of information that have emerged over the past several decades online. The Digital Theological Library, DTL, provides access with academic integrity and the necessary depth to carry on learning in a digital world." Also, our dean at NSBT, Dr. Randall J. Pennell, PhD, says, the Digital Theological Library, DTL, is such a great advantage to those learning online. It gives access to almost every literary resource within biblical and theological studies since the 1990s, including the majority of textbooks that usually have to be purchased by students. The support of DTL for those studying along with NSBT is not only a great benefit and blessing, but a great enhancement to students and faculty alike. Some examples of the type of resources that we have access to: you have the Dictionary for Theological Interpretation of the Bible. You have Clark's Encyclopedia of the Second Temple Judaism, Oxford Encyclopedia of Biblical Interpretation. Those are some dictionaries and encyclopedias. And then some of the books. And here we have one of our own professors at NSBT who gave one of the endorsement. He co-authored with Dr. Sundquist, Dr. Dale T. Irvin, who is one professor of world Christianity at NSBT, this is his second book. He has a first book as well, is called History of the World Christian Movement. This is the second part. And he has his book there too. Also, there's books like Who is Jesus? An Introduction to Christology. In the area of counseling, Images of Pastoral Care, classic readings. Some commentaries. You have The New Testament in Its World, An Introduction to History, Literature, and Theology. This is by N.T. Wright. You have commentaries on the Bible, on books like Job, Interpretation and Bible Commentary for Preaching and Teaching. And then you also have regional commentaries like from Africa, Bible Commentary. Login instruction for students. NSBT and DTL use Easy Proxy to authenticate users. The DTL system will ask you for your school's name and barcode number. Here's where you will have the screen, and you will need to click on this down and go to our school, New School of Biblical Theology, and make sure you press on our school when you are asked, when you go into DTL, to find your institution and enter your barcode. And here's where you would put the student barcode. Make sure to scroll down and select the New School of Biblical Theology. And then once you find, how do you find your barcode and ID number? These are the instructions that will help you to locate your student ID. So that your NSBT student ID without the last name section of the ID serve as the DTL user barcodes. For example, in your student ID, you're going to have your NSBT status, STU for student, your last name, Baker, it'll be the first 5 letters of your last name if your last name is more than 5 letters. Then you'll have a series of numerals. It'll be 6. Then you'll have the year of your inscription, 2002. And then we've added another hyphen with the session that you're coming in. The detail barcode, that was your student ID. The detail barcode is everything that you find within the NSBT except for your last name section and as well the session that you're in. So for example, STU Baker hyphen numeral 00001 hyphen 2020 is your NSBT student ID, but the detail barcode will be everything without that last name and also the session that you're in. So it would be STU hyphen, not your last name, 000001, which will be the numerals, hyphen 2020. And as you notice, if you do have an additional hyphen to have your session, make sure that you don't put that in. So if you look at the login picture above, that's what you find. You see that? There is the student ID, the STU Baker, that's the NSBT ID, but the detailed barcode has all that without the last name and session. So make sure that you do put your NSBT status hyphen your numerals hyphen 2020. For example, how a student ID can be retrieved securely from the NSBT portal in my profile page or by contacting the NSBT registration office. For example, as a student, I can simply go to my profile, and when you see your student information, go to student, and here's where you'll find your ID to the right. Again, it's my profile, click on student, and to the right you'll find your student ID. Let's go back to the course. The instructions for login for faculty and staff are similar to students. How to use the Digital Theological Library, DTL. If you need a digitally available resource, especially in religious studies, the DTL probably can provide access to it. The following instructions will help you discover and retrieve the content that you need. Here are ways of finding more information on a specific topic. Most DTL content, including ebooks, articles and journals, and databases, can be found by using the main search box. So as I clicked on that main search box, it opened up externally DTL's homepage. Here at the top, you can find the main search box, quick search, it's called to, or basic search, or the advanced search engine, which you can click on this as well. If using the search bar does not provide enough resources for you, look through the A through Z database right here. If you click on that, you'll find the A through Z databases, the brief database descriptions, in this list will help you decide which databases are most likely to help you find the specific information that you are seeking. When you find a database of interest, simply click on the link and use the search engine within the database to discover the content you need. For example, if we go into African Journal Archive, it opens an external website and goes directly to this database. And you can find here within this database the different types of sources. These are occasional papers by this organization, Accord. You can browse through these issues. And it's basically a journal, and you can look in these previous issues, submit a paper, contact editor. You can go into that. If we go back, and here's the different issues that you can go into this journal. And if you want to look at more, it can tell you the type of information that is there. The paper considers the potential future role of South Africa as an anchor state in Africa. Let's see, to achieve this, you can read even more and you get more information. So and then you can enter within that very journal and look at more information. You can download it as well. But let's go back and you can scroll down that database. So that was just this one here, and you can add it to your favorites or email it to yourself. And here's other collections: Acta Classica, Proceedings of Classical Association of South Africa. So that's in Africa. Advocate, Africa Dialogue Monograph Series. That monograph is books. You can click on that. You can add it to your... But that's, for example, if you want to go into that, it'll tell you the latest articles, an Egyptian view of the African Renaissance. So that's just an example of this particular database, and you can even find even more. It's very beneficial to know that you have all these type of databases. That was just Africa. So if there's anything else that we can look here, let's see. Bibliography of Lewison, biblical studies on the web. Let's see which one else we can go into. Chinese Christianity Online, another database. So you can see that the different aspects of it, the global perspective that you can find of the different type of databases that you can research. So that's the A through Z database. So imagine you can either scroll down or you can tap on a letter, say that we want to look at something in history, historical Jewish press, that's something that comes up, or you can just click on that. Ministry Matters, New Interpretation, Dictionary of the Bible, Music and Dance Online, Music Online. So it's just various different databases that you can research and see on DTL. To find general resources on a particular topic, peruse the details of cultivated subject guides. So you can click on subject guides, and all of a sudden you can, on your left, you can see here general topics in religious studies, and they give you a list. And these are subject guides. So detailed subject guides provide an introduction to the different topics in a related religious studies by giving you access to classical and breaking edge scholarship. So let's say you want to go into chaplaincy, and then it begins to give you these different aspects of, you can get databases online, academic journals, ebooks on that particular topic. Or let's say Christology. Again, there's ebooks, current ebooks that you can look at, and there's a description of the book, and articles and essays that you can look. So it's really a rich resource that we have by these details. So those are general topics in religious studies, sacred text studies, biblical studies, the Quranic studies, ancient languages, exegetical papers, textual criticism, Dead Sea Scrolls, Bible, encyclopedia, dictionaries. You want to do it the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, Christian scriptures, New Testament, and then other foreign languages, Asian or related topics that you can look at. So that's with the subject guides. The following can help helps you find journal articles. We go back. Let me click out of this. So finding major journals in religious studies are well indexed in 3 key databases that you have. The first one is, and you can access that in lessons and go down to finding articles, and you'll find the 3 different ways of accessing. Oops, that just took me out of there, but I can click back on finding articles. So there's 3 ways that you can access that. As you notice, here's the J-Star collections 1 through 3 ebooks, Religion and Theology collection. I'll click on that in a moment. There's Project Muse, Philosophy and Religion. And then there's ProQuest 1 Academic. So if I click on this, it'll take me directly to that external journal on D2L. And there's the example I tell you. So when you want to access a particular database sometimes, or even the book, an article, to be able to get into D2L, you're going to need to select your institution, enter your student ID. Remember, I was showing you that earlier in the student instruction. So here's where you would need to do that. So again, you would want to go to school and then click and go down to New School of Biblical Theology. Click our school and then put your student ID. As you recall, when I showed you, that was your NSBT ID without your last name section and without the session, if your ID number has a session. And how do you get there? There again, remember you can go to My Profile, click on Student, and on the right side you'll see your NSBT student ID. And then what you'll need to put as a barcode is basically your NSBT status, which would be STU for student, hyphen the 6 numerals after your last name, and then hyphen again, and then the year that you have inscribed for registered for NSBT. Some of you may have 20-20. Take out the dash in the middle and just put 2020, and and just so it would be basically STU dash the 6 numerals dash the year of your inscription, 2020 in this case, and then you log in. And once you log in, DTL will take you to that database. So here, basically, to look for a journal, I can click here and write in what, let's say I want to put in, let's say Christology, let's say Christian leadership, and let's see what comes up. And you search, and then you see journals on Christian leadership. And just scroll down. So that's one way to look at, and you see the results. One in this page, I'll have 125 out of 20,000. So you can be more specific as to what you want in that. So here it tells you the subject as to where they're coming from. So that's really helpful. So let's go again. Let me show you now. That was the JS-TAR religion collections 1 to 3, or you can do Project Muse. Again, it'll open it up. Since I already logged into DTL, now I'll have access whenever I click on something next. So if you log out, you will notice that will happen. So here, basically, you can browse these books, or you can again begin to enter whatever you want to search, and then you click search, and then it'll give you results. So that's Project Muse. This is a section of finding journal articles. We go back, and you can go ProQuest. That's another way on D2L that you can access journal articles. Here, what you'll have this come up. So if this comes up, what you'll need to do is click where it says select institution. You click on institution. You want to click DTL United States because that's where we're at. And you click login, and you should have access to it. And here again, you want to click on, it gives you options of what you want to look at: scholarly journals, books, videos, audio, dissertation, thesis, or more. You want to click on scholarly journals, and then again, click in the topic that you want to search for. And here you can go full text. What that means, full text means that it gives you availability to access the text. Because there are going to be sometimes when you do access on D2L where you might not have full text, meaning that you'll be able to find out the source where you can get the information, but on D2L you can access the writing, the content to it. So those are ways to find journal articles. Those 3 ways again. Let me show you as a repeat. JSTOR, Project Muse, or ProQuest One Academic. And how I got that, it was in lessons and basically how to use D2L, and on the page finding journal articles. It'll give you those links again. And you can also find these on DTL as well. I believe, let me show you real quick. I think we can do this. So if I wanted to go to the home page, and then here it is. So when you're on the home page and you come to this, you'll find these very instructions that I'm showing you on their page as well, finding journal articles, and there they are, the 3 that I just highlighted for you, which is in our library orientation lesson, in our orientation course on library orientation, MCM 002. So just so you know. All right. So that was how you find finding articles, building a bibliography. Again, we will want to go to the details A through Z. Let me go there for you list. So here's the home page again. Let me close out these. And so when you're here, DTL's A through Z list can also help you create a bibliography. The databases listed below do not provide access to books and articles, but they will help you discover resources you can then locate in DTL's collection. So here, right, that's one way to see that. But there are ways that you can access, and we can find it here when you want to build a bibliography. And they're basically, these are the 3 ways that you can go through religious and theological abstracts. You will find all areas of religious studies here. So if you click on that, it'll take you to an external. And basically here, you can click on the topic. And here below, it gives you an example of search original sin, finds records that mention and sin. You might want to include and in that way. Gospel of Thomas, find the exact phrase, Gospel of Thomas, or Exodus 20. Finds records that contains the scripture citation. You can do advanced search. So basically, what we'll give you here is theological abstracts. It's basically a description of the resource, right? You won't be able to have the full text, but what this allows you to do is you can search. Let's say if you do original sin like they're suggesting here, and you click search, you get all these different journals, right? And what they're suggesting, and here's the author, is that you can locate this information and then go to D2L and try to find it if they have it as a resource for you. But that's just an example of using religious and theological abstracts. Fallen and Broken, reinterpreted in the light of evolution theory. So you can look at these different titles. These are the articles. And then if you can look at the abstract. So basically you can click on this, and this is the abstract. Kind of gives you the description of what In this particular Fallen and Broken, reinterpreted in the light of evolution theory, perspectives on science and Christian faith, the church has long discussed the nature of human-divine relationship. A key point of contention has been what it might mean to say that humans are fallen or broken creatures, heirs of original sin, as science brought clarity and new model to church leaders disputing the relationship between earth and heaven. So that's kind of the abstract for us. That's one way, going to this particular religious and theological abstracts. Another way too, you can go, this is to build a bibliography of sources. You can, articles, books, right? So that's one. Now you have bibliography of Lausanne database and multilingual collection. So if you click on this, it'll take you again to the external site, and again you can search here, and let's just do that original sin and see what happens, just as a follow through. And here we go. But now this is multilingual. This is German sources. Here's in English, but it was published in looks like a German source. Here's other languages. Here's other English. So, I mean, you can search and find in this one as well, and build your bibliography. If you, for example, want to select this one, Baptized in Heaven, and you click on it, and it gives you all the information here. The abstracts. Here's the abstract. You can find out more. And this is where you would locate this is in the journal, this particular journal, and see if Detail has it. So that's the way to do biblical. That's another way to get sources to build bibliography. And then, the third one, it's also multilingual. It's the Bildi Documentation for Biblical Literature, Innsbruck. Let's see what we get here. It's another external. Again, it's in German, it looks like. And so what we can do here, basically, in the search, close this out for a second. Here's the search. Let's do a search. Let's see what. Oh, no, it already gave me something. Let me go back. Here we go. Let's put original sin just to see what happens. And you get sources, about 1,000. And here you go. So this is an example of how you can find resources in these to build a bibliography in these basic sources or databases that you can have to do so. So again, you can find it here on the lesson, but if you go to the Detail website and go to how to use, remember I was telling you that here's finding articles, here's this building a bibliography, and they're found right here as well. So it not only will you find it in this course on library orientation, but once you are finished with this session, you won't have access to that library orientation, but it just to help you see how to use that. Once you have your courses in NSBT, you can always just go to DTL and go to how to use, and you scroll down and you'll find there the very things I'm showing you right now, finding journals, building a bibliography, and we'll continue in a moment looking at how do you find a particular article and here on the website, but in our course of orientation, you'll see it's right here, finding a particular article with known authors. So we'll go to that next. So again, we can look now at finding a particular article with a known title and author. If you already know the bibliographical information for an article, you can find the article using one of these approaches. And here are the 3 approaches that the lesson has. But So you have it here, but you also will have it on the detail homepage on how to use. And let's go there, so that way you know that you'll have it in this orientation lesson, but also on Detail's webpage. So there's the three ways that you can do it. The first way is, as it lets you know here, search for the author or article title in the main search box. And that's the main search box is this right here, right? So for example, let's say I'm looking for Justo Gonzalez. That's the author that I want, Justo Gonzalez. And I put search. These are ebooks. But in D12, right, you can see that Justo is 855 results. And on here, look, you have 601 articles, 33 books. So I want articles. So I click on articles. And it takes a little while to load. And here I have articles by Justo Gonzalez. Book reviews on him. These are reviews of his book by other people. Here's one that he's written in 1974. Gives you an idea. Okay, so that's by, if you know the author's name, right? The author's name. If we go back, and you can also click on the D2L and it'll take you back to the, if you click on that, it takes you back to that homepage, and you want to go to how to use. And say that's using the main search box at the top of the page, or the advanced search engine. When you click on that, again, I can show you, you can go back even here. It'll always, on every single page, you'll have main search or quick search or basic search right here, this window, or advanced search where you want to enter more information. So we have, let's say the keyword I want to put author instead. Let's see, give me author, and I want to put Justo L. Gonzalez, and I know the title. Let's see. That's Athens. Is called Athens and Jerusalem Revisited. Okay, and then go ahead and search. Oh, interesting. It didn't give it to me in this particular case. Let me go back. Okay, let's put just Athens and see what happens. Search. There we go. See, sometimes you would need the exact all the title, but I remembered part of the title and I put that in there, and there it is again. So that's how you can utilize, as it was showing us in that first on how to use, and we go scroll down. If we want to utilize the main search box, like I showed you, now the advanced search box, many articles will appear using this method, and the system will provide the direct link to the article. However, if you do not find what you're looking for, try the next approach. So again, search for the journal title. And I didn't pay attention to that. Let me go ahead and let's see if we do that Justo again, so that we can try to figure out Justo Gonzalez. Oh, you know what? Let's do the advanced search, because that's how we found it, and I want to look at the publisher. That way, there it is. We did that already. Let's do it again. So it's still showing me that I did that before. Let's see who the publisher was. Church History. All right, Church History, volume 43. So if we go back to that particular how to use, and we go down to, if we didn't find it through the main search or the advanced search engine, but we can look by searching in we can search the journal itself. So let's go ahead and put church history. See what happens. Church history, articles. And then I can go here. What I can do is I can select last 25 years. Oh yeah, or I can put 1974. Let's put 1974 through 1974 because that's when the year. Okay, and let's see what comes up. There you go. That's the journal article. But we want to as well put in article, and let's see what else we wanted to. We can also add author. It lets us show more. See, that's looking at the topic. So what I need to do, maybe put in volume 43, and see what happens. Okay, so let me go ahead and when we're looking at the different ways, so you can do the main search at the top of the page or advanced search. This approach will lead you to the journal's homepage where you can retrieve. Let me try again looking at church history, and let's see here, journal source. Okay, and let's see if it gives you subject, or let's go ahead and let me see what gives us church history here. Journal source, there it is, the church history. But as we do that, let me go back again and add church history, and let's add the author, Justo Gonzalez, and search. Again, we had this issue again. Because I didn't spell that correctly. That's why. Gonzalez. There we go. Search. Then it's there again. So that's another way to do that when you're searching. So that's, you can do the advanced search is probably the best way, and also you can go to the A to Z list database and search the databases that are most likely to contain the article. So those are ways that you can find a particular known title and author. If you know the title and author, you can do here in this lesson of your library orientation, and if you're in here, you can just go ahead and click on that and it'll take you to the web page, and I want you to remember that you will always have these links to search, whether you're looking for the quick search for something or you want to find something on a specific topic, the A through Z databases, subject guides I showed you, finding journal articles. There are 3 ways that I showed you. Also building a bibliography, we looked at the different abstracts, and then the multilingual places that you can find more, and then finding a particular article with a known title and author. You can find those there as well. So that's when we are in the very DTL. Also, as you notice, you will know as well in the lessons on the library orientation, you're going to find video tutorials that DTL has. You can access them here. How to use the basic search, how to use the advanced search, intro to subject guides, and intro to A to Z databases. In other words, you can access these in the library orientation course, MCM 002, or as you click, you can look at them directly here. But like I said, once you're out of this session, you're going to always have access to DTL, so you can, on the how to use page, I just showed you these ways of accessing those sources. But then if you want more information beyond this orientation that I'm giving you on DTL itself, on their homepage, they have these video tutorials on how to use the basic search, how to use advanced search, intro to subject guides, and also intro to A to Z database. So if you need more info and more demonstrations on how to use these basic search engines, go ahead and click on any of these. For example, when you do how to use the basic search video tutorial, this video shows you how to use basic keyword search to find a resource in the detail collection, see details and metadata about it, and access it online or in a physical format. So it'll show you that video tutorial. I showed you a little bit just by looking at Justo Gonzalez and his article in 1974. We did the basic search and then the advanced search. So here as well, Detail has how to use the advanced search video tutorial. Here, this video shows you how the DTL subject guides, not the subject guides, how to use the advanced search and sidebar filters in Detail's catalog. So that's how this video will help you look at the advanced search if you want more beyond what I showed you. And then it gives you an introduction, an intro to subject guides in a video tutorial on their Detailed website. This video shows you how Detailed subject guides are organized and what content they provide. So you can look at it as well. I showed you a little bit, and they'll just kind of repeat or show you from their standpoint. And then an intro to A to Z databases. We looked at that a little bit. And then this video shows you how to search for databases in the Details collection using the A to Z databases that we have. So again, that's on DTL's webpage, or if you're in the library orientation course, MCM 002, and you are in lessons, video tutorials, you go right there and you'll find those 4 again, and you can simply just click on those in any of these and you can watch those video tutorials. What I want to also demonstrate to you now is that the Digital Theological Library is NSBT's library. For NSBT courses, the library link is indispensable. At the top left corner of the NSBT Populi page, you will find library. Since NSBT has no physical library and DTL serves as its online library, the links feature is for now the only operational function in the library page. So if I click on this, the catalog, calendar, my profile, that's pertaining if we had a physical library, but we don't. So we only use the links. So if you click on links, links are organized into lists, which are groups of related links. Here we have the DTL, Digital Theological link, and it has a list of links for it. You also have other links with other lists of links. These are pertaining to research and writing skills, which we will cover in Orientation 3 and Orientation 4. For now, we will go just to highlight for you these of the Digital Theological Library. Since we are in your library orientation, and I just wanted to highlight for you that you can access it in any of your courses. I know this is the library orientation, but once you get into leadership for ministry in global context, you will have this, and you can click it and you'll come to this particular link and list of links that is DTL. As you'll notice, we covered this earlier, the DTL homepage, the quick search, how to use it, and the database list. So instead of having to go directly to the homepage, DTL, you can, in the library and links, click on that, and it'll take you to the homepage, which is there. And if you want to do the quick search, you can do a quick search here as well. Or how to use it, it'll open directly in the detail homepage, external website. It'll open another window for you, and then here you are. Remember when we covered this, and the video tutorial is at the bottom as well. And then you have the database. So it does open it up externally. You can go there. So what's really going to be nice for you, you are in a library orientation course right now, and it's for this session that you're registered in. And once that session finishes, you won't have the ability to go to those lessons and to cover. That's why you want to use it during this session. But what's going to be nice for you, you'll have, in every course, you'll have these very links to take you there. And here's, if you want to look at the basic search tutorial, you can click here, and it'll open it up for you right
Let's say you're interested.
Right to it, and you can watch it. And the same thing for how to use the advanced search, or how to use subject guides, or how to use the A to Z database, and it's all here. What you'll find lastly, though, is the DTL login. Not only the login instructions that we have already covered on how to determine your barcode, but if you want to click and log in already to DTL, this will give you the link. And remember, you got to click and go down and find our school, and then put your barcode in here. And that'll give you the ability to access. But it's nice that you'll have that all here. Let's go back to our lessons to complete in our library orientation. That was a library links. It also tells you how to do that, but let me go ahead, and one last thing that we want to cover is NSBT and information literacy. In this lesson, you're going to be able to look at what is information literacy. And you'll see here, you can look at the meaning, definitions, landscape, framework, information literate, and director. But let me cover a few things for you as we're winding down this orientation video, part 2. Because of today's escalating complexity of the information that we face, diverse, abundant information choices in our academic studies, in the workplace, and in our personal lives. Information comes to us through libraries, community resources, special interests, organizations, media, and the internet. And increasingly, information comes to us in unfiltered formats, raising questions about if it's authentic, valid, or reliable. So today's information that you and I encounter, however, is not always accurate or high quality. The buzzword today, fake news, or fake information. But at NSBT, we believe that foundational information literacy skills, such as conducting strategic online searches, judging the legitimacy of online sources, sifting out misinformation, and recognizing advertising can help us as a learning community be successful as lifelong learners. That's why we've made this partnership with DTL, because we know that you will have a strategic online searches that you can use this resource, and you can judge the legitimacy because it's a trusted partner that we have in that. So at NSBT, our aim, and just spend time, you can go to these and look at the definitions and the landscape of it, of what information literacy is, the framework as well. And then I want to stop for a moment and look at information literate. NSBT aims at helping you and I become and be information literate. The sheer abundance of information will not in itself create us to be more of an informed citizenry without a complementary cluster of abilities necessary to use information effectively. Information literacy forms the basis for lifelong learning. It is common to all disciplines, to all learning environments, to master content and in all levels of education. It enables learners to master content and extend their investigations, become more self-directed, and assume greater control over their own lives and learning. To truly become information literate requires that you simultaneously develop awareness of how you engage with the digital world, how you find meaning in the information you discover, how to articulate what kind of information you require, how to use information ethically, understand the role you can play in the communication in your profession, and how you evaluate information for credibility and authority. We wanted to provide the definition and all of this explanation for you as we are utilizing so much of technology in this online course, and Populi and Digital Theological Library. And so this is just for us to realize what is our reality today. And that's why I would like you to spend time through these pages to inform yourself. And lastly, that's why when you see, you have realized in Orientation 1 that I'm the Director of Information of Online Learning. I'm also a professor at NSBT and for this course, but I'm also the Director of Information Literacy. So if that term, information literacy, you're wondering what it means, that's why we have this whole section for you to understand that better. My role is to provide leadership and support for the NSBT community becoming more information literate. My focus is to align the online learning management system, Populi, online courses, and the blended learning with the new School of Biblical Theology's mission, strategic plan, and commitment to academic excellence and educational mission. I work creatively, collaboratively, and proactively with students, faculty, and staff to plan, develop, and deliver asynchronous online teaching and learning experiences, as well as course design and development. I am the point person to train and facilitate both faculty and students in online courses in the learning management system. In this video orientation, there will be 3 assignments to help students practice using DTL. There's going to be a practice quick search assignment. There's going to be a practice A through Z database assignment search. And there's going to be a quiz on the video orientation part 2. So when you want to look at the practice quick search assignment, just like we saw in orientation 1, you will need to go to the quick search discussion assignment to access it. There are 2 ways to get to the assignment. You can go to discussions on the left sidebar and click on quick search discussion, and you will see the instructions, the videos that you are to watch, and then you'll need to scroll down to the bottom of the page to the window that says contribute to this discussion. And you want to make sure you put in your response here and add comment to the discussion. A second way that you can access the assignment is in assignments, like we were just at. When you click on quick search here, do not add a comment and post your topic list here. If you do this, it will be incorrect. Instead, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on quick search. And then it'll take you back to where we were in the discussions. So I would recommend that you go to discussions and click on the assignment discussion quick search and go all the way down and post where you need to post on that window that says contribute to discussion here. But if you decide, and you can, if you decide to go to assignments, please, when you do click on the assignment, do not put your comment here. Scroll down to the quick search comment, and then it'll take you to that discussion. And then you just got to go to the bottom again of the page. A special note here, to ease any concerns in this tutorial, remember it's also a non-graded course that allows you as a student the opportunity to practice and populi as you get adjusted to the different platforms. In other words, the focus here is for students to use and practice doing searches on DTL, and also to practice the steps for submitting the different types of assignments on populi. So let's look at the second assignment, a practice an A to Z search assignment, assignment. So you can go to discussions, and this is the best way to access it, A to Z database. Click on that, and then you want to read the instructions, watch the video, and then go to the bottom and contribute to the discussion and add your comment. That's one way. The other way, again, is through assignments. You click on A to Z database. Please do not add your comment here and post it, your answer, you're required to do for this assignment, because that will be incorrect. Instead, you want to scroll down at the bottom of the instructions and click the A through Z database and go to the bottom again to the window that says contribute to the discussion and add comment. So the best way, again, is go to discussions, and you'll find them both there, and it opens up the window that you need to discuss. But in the assignments, the third one, but also let me just make a note here on these two first assignments, the quick search and the A to Z databases. For these two practice discussion assignments, students do not have to reply to their classmates as they did in your orientation 1 assignments. In this case, it's optional for you to reply to your classmates. The intention in these assignments is for students to engage in practice using DTL. But if you like to also practice using populi and reply to others, you are more than welcome to do so. In the last assignment, Orientation Part 2 quiz, the final assignment is a required quiz of this video orientation, which the due date will be determined by the professor during the Q&A live stream video session. You will need, though, very important, you will need to take it before you can access Orientation 3. Part 1, Research and Writing Skills. So you can access the orientation, the quiz here, and you can click Take It Now, or you can go to Test online and click on Take It Now here, and you can start the quiz there. So go back, and we were looking at these. So to review of assignments for the tutorial course, you have 3 of them. The practice quick search assignment discussion, the A through Z databases discussion assignment practice, and then your quiz, orientation quiz. What I do want to mention to you, review will be done on the 3 assignments on our second Q&A Zoom session, and there we will designate the due dates for these 3 assignments. This ends our orientation part 2 video on the Digital Theological Library. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me, the Director of Online Learning and the Director of Literacy, Information Literacy, at enolivos@nsbt.org.